Welcome to Devlog number 9 of bitBot. Last week I started with the task to prepare the game for the Steam Deck, and part of this means gamepad support. Let's have a look at how it works in the main menu. Nice and easy. Let's see how it works beneath the surface. And this is it, a simple navigation graph. Let me show you how the code looked before gamepad support was added. The code draws and handles the action of the play level button. It's this one here. There's no information about the button surroundings, it's just the graphics and the click handling. To support gamepad navigation, this information has to be provided on top of this literally. The UI element register call provides this information, an ID, the area on screen, and the navigation links to other elements. A registry tracks these values each frame and uses them to handle navigation inputs. Let's open the settings for a more complex example. So this here contains the settings for the languages. Ich kann auch Deutsch, ou encore le français, and I give up here. So let's look at the sound. This is a little bit easier. This grid here is quite regular and it wraps up and down and around. I can change the volume here. But the navigation from the tab bar is always jumping to the top left element. So if I go to the left here and right again, I'm ending up here. Or if I'm on the language button here, I go to the right, I go to the left, I end up on the sound. There's no built-in memorization. This needs to be done on the caller side of the UI element, register element call, which can be done too, for example here. This is the UI of the level play scene, so let's toy around a little bit first. But right, last time I promised to show a better solution for this level. So here we go. We first load it like the time before, moving here, unloading it. But when we reach the end, instead of turning around and going back, we'll drive in a circle. This saves us a few moves, because the turning around involves making a circle movement. So finishing this now with the go to instruction shows a remaining problem that I have to solve at some point. So let's have a look here. This is the place where I need to insert the go to instruction. I can insert it here like that. And then due to the auto stepping, we get to the win screen instantly. It's not wrong, but it feels unsatisfying. It's much more preferable to watch the solution playing out like this. So pressing the play button here, I can see the gameplay. And this feels so much nicer, so I guess I'll have to polish this again, because I did it before. But now let's have a look at the navigation graph. This is where we started off. The UI here is quite complex, but you can see that the previous selection is memorized, and you can see this in the lines that are drawn to the points where we have been the last time before switching sides. And another thing is to notice that some elements are controlled via buttons, like the play button on top. And this all works through a system that translates the gamepad inputs into mouth movements and clicks. This is why the buttons show the hover effect. The mouse is hidden but placed in the center of the registered area. You can even see the hovering on the trash and undo button here as I move from left to right. When I'm moving the mouse, the gamepad overlays disappear and they reappear when I'm pushing a button on the gamepad again. It is even possible to drag and drop instructions via the gamepad this way. So I can take this one, I can take this one, I can swap it out with this one, so that's all working. So when pressing a button that is mapped to a button, it also simulates a mouse click on that position. For instance, when stepping through the simulation, using the shoulder buttons like that. As you can see, only the instruction editing is hooked up so far. Various elements are not yet mapped. This is still a work in progress. Every user interface needs to be edited to support this properly, which is quite a bit of work. When I started working on this feature, I first considered modifying the existing user interface functions and the calls to somehow automatize the navigation, but I came to the conclusion that building such a system would require a lot of work. Plus, it's very likely that I would have needed to touch every user interface afterwards anyway. But I'm still considering some kind of automation. Since I have now an underlying system that handles the navigation, I could do some bit of automatic navigation graph generation on top of it. I have some ideas. However, I assume manual intervention will always be required. For instance, here we have these two columns here on the instruction selection panel, and we have to jump over missing elements. The way I'm handling this right now is to add a disabled element as a placeholder. These disabled elements still know their navigation links, which allows the navigation to jump over them properly. So for example, when I'm going down from the undo button, like that, the system finds the disabled placeholder element first, but then it notices it's disabled, and so it repeats the same action of navigating down on the disabled element again, which leads to the next element in the chain, which is then this sequence here, or this one. And it repeats it until a non-disabled element is found, or the end of the chain, which happens here. The navigation is, however, not the only thing that needs to be handled. With the introduction of the gamepad cursor, we have basically two cursors on the screen. One is controlled via the left stick, like that, and the other via the right stick. It can also be moved via the button action here, so I can move to an element and press A to have it moved there. The left stick can only move in the four main directions here, so that's limited, but the right stick can also move diagonally. It's more convenient. When the gamepad cursor is on the programming area, the view automatically follows it. And when there's no gamepad focus, the right stick is also able to move the view, which I hope matches the user expectations. I still have to continue this integration for all the remaining screens and options, which I fear will probably include the sandbox mode interface, which is quite a complex beast. As you can see, there are lots of options and map interactions like that. It's quite vast, and not even that, some parts of that also need an overhaul themselves, because these components are sometimes not drawing and rendering fine. But this is for another time. To summarize, the gamepad supports is in the works, basic system is in place, the sandbox mode UI is still pending, some polishing and testing is also needed. My current short-term goals are finish the gamepad support and then testing and playing the game on the Steam Deck. And my midterm goals are making a playtest with random players to see if they understand the game, and then making a demo release for Steam. So much for today. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and especially wishlist the game if you like what you see there. Bye!